we stream everything now.
Correct.
So no longer do people own DVDs or CDs to play music and play stuff. Everything is streamed. How do you feel about everything kind of being leased? We don't own anything. We're leasing and borrowing and streaming everything. Music, movies is just coming from a server, not in your possession. You don't own it. You're paying for, a rental. How do you feel about that?
It's kind of more expensive.
Mm-hmm. Elaborate. How you would...
Because, all right, we used to have cable. We would pay for cable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you would add on, say, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and all that. Mm-hmm. So let's say your cable bill was $150, $200 a month. Mm-hmm. So now you're like, okay, now that $200 a month, say, included the triple play, which is internet and phone.
And the phone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now you're saying you got all these streaming services that have all these movies and stuff that you like to watch at any given time, whatever. Mm-hmm. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna get that. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna cancel my cable, keep the internet service, and I'm just gonna get these streaming services. Mm-hmm. But now these streaming services are coming close to like between $12 and $15 a pop.
So yeah.
So now you get into the
$7?
Yeah, $6.99, and it looks like that'll be going up at some point. Mm-hmm. Netflix just went up in price.
What is it? $15?
Netflix, I think now is $14 or $15. Mm-hmm. And all the other streaming sites are gonna go up in price because Hulu has their own thing unless you have the Disney bundle.
Right.
So
I didn't get the bundle. I'm thinking about this. Maybe I should. I know they were doing the yearly thing. I missed out on that.
Yeah, I missed out on that also.
But I'm thinking about that bundle maybe. The only I didn't because I get Hulu through my mom's Sprint account, and I pay for Disney Plus.
Okay.
So I was like, do I need the Hulu? But then there are some things they have a Hulu Live TV, and I think if that's included, that might be worth it.
Hulu Live is not included with the Disney bundle.
Okay, so
that's an add-on.
Okay, so it's not worth it.
Then you have like HBO Max, which has the deal with getting the new releases.
I get that through AT&T, so I get that for free.
I mean? So now, if you want to sign up for that, that's like another $15.
$15, yeah. But AT&T.
So at the end of the day, with all these streaming services, once you add up the cable, whatever you're paying for internet, you're back to your $200 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe more, or maybe just under.
Yeah.
So it's hit or miss. I think at this point, it's just preference of how you want to run things.
Do you see yourself owning every streaming service?
No, just pretty much what I'm interested in. Like right now, like I have the Disney bundle.
Okay.
Because I enjoy Hulu, and of course Disney because it's got Star Wars and the MCU. Mm-hmm. I have Amazon just because it's included with the Prime account. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is what, $15 now as well too, or 12 something? What's Amazon Prime?
No, because when you have an Amazon Prime account, you pay that yearly.
Right, but okay.
That's yearly.
How much is that a year? I don't have it.
Amazon Prime a year, I think it's like $120 a year.
Okay. So $120 is about.
Yeah, so $120. So you figure that pretty much averages out.
That's $10.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
About a month.
Okay.
So, but that also includes the Prime delivery service,
shipping and stuff,
shipping and all that.
Right.
So, which also includes Amazon Music, basic things, unless you want to rent or buy, whatever. But that's
right.
Everybody knows how Amazon Prime works now.
Yeah.
It's been
Shout out to Jeff Bezos, who's stepping down, but I think is the world's richest man again. Elon Musk was the world's richest man for like a week, and now Bezos so they're going back and forth. They're like, fighting for the number one spot.
Actually, no, I can't. I was about to say, so what you're telling me is two white men are the richest people on the planet, but technically, Elon Musk is an African. He's from South Africa.
Okay.
South African.
Okay.
So he's just a lighter skinned African.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said, the streaming services just comes down to preference and what you
and they're the
prefer.
documented richest man, because some people would say the Rockefellers got undocumented money, and we're not gonna go down the conspiracy rabbit holes.
Right.
But continue.
But it's just a matter of preference. What you want to go with.
Do you feel so? Right now, Disney Plus just announced that they exceeded their 4-year goal. They had a 4-year goal of 90 million subscribers, and at this point, they have 95 million subscribers. HBO Max is struggling a little bit and had a bad launch. Their initial launch did not have apps for Roku and Amazon Fire Sticks, which is like the number one app, TV, connection streaming platforms. and they're struggling a little bit out the gate. They did say that they doubled their subscribers since December, which is kind of like the launch when Wonder Woman 84 had released on there.
Okay. Well, you would have to think that the release of Wonder Woman 84 would have upped their membership because people would want to see that.
Right, and they announced this year alone, every movie that was intended for theaters will get a theatrical release and an HBO Max release.
The only thing that's got my interest is King Kong vs. Godzilla. That's the only thing that has my interest.
We're going to come back to that because I want to talk about that too. I was interested, but I'm going to come back to that. What I was saying was HBO Max kind of struggling. I feel myself that HBO Max has right now better content, newer content I kind of say, but okay. I feel they have better content on their service than Disney. However, The Mandalorian was at one point the #1 show, and now WandaVision now #1 show on there. And I guess quality over quantity is what's succeeding in the streaming wars, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So right now the big three is kind of Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Netflix is still the king.
Yeah, it's probably going to be for quite a while.
Do you feel that Netflix? How long do you think they will remain the king? And also, we're about to get Paramount Plus, which is basically just CBS
All Access
rebranded.
Yeah.
Which again, that was the problem with HBO Max. HBO Max was kind of their HBO. Not HBO Go. What was the other app?
Well, you had HBO Go, which became HBO
something else.
HBO something else, then became HBO Max.
So the rebranding didn't work because it confused people.
Correct.
So hopefully Paramount Plus gets rebranded, but there's also Peacock, which is NBC, Universal. There's BT Plus. There's a bunch of stuff. But Netflix is still king. Do you feel that they're going to remain king, or do you see them being dethroned in some years? And who do you think would do it?
I think if anybody takes Netflix out of that top spot, it's probably going to be, I would say the next one would be probably, I would say Amazon Prime, mainly because they are producing their own stuff.
Okay.
As well as still able to stream other services.
Okay.
Because you look at a lot of what they're streaming regularly, through Prime Video. Mm-hmm. Plus, they also have things that are in theaters that people can buy or rent.
Okay. So is it a cheat code that Amazon Prime includes shipping? It's not just for because basically HBO Max, Netflix, Disney Plus is strictly viewing stuff, whereas Amazon Prime is movies, TV, and shipping discounts. Do you think it's a cheat code or?
No, I would just say it's intelligent because now you're saying, okay, I'm going to charge you $120, $125 a year, but here's what's included with it.
Okay.
Netflix is going to charge you that same $120, $125, but this is all they offer.
Okay.
So you're getting more bang from your buck through Amazon in the long run than you are by spending that same on Netflix.
Especially during the pandemic when people are not going outside.
Not going outside as much.
Okay.
You're ordering things online. Because I know I spent a lot of money through Amazon Prime ordering things.
Yes.
Also, the simple fact, like you just brought up, the pandemic, a lot of people aren't working.
Right.
A lot of people don't have that extra money to spend. So for them to say, okay, I'm going to spend this $125 on Amazon Prime, which is going to allow me to buy my necessities, as well as still stream video, music, maybe download some books to read to kill time, as opposed to spending that same, say, $15 a month on just watching videos. Okay. When the same videos are available on Prime.
So which app do you see yourself going back to more often? Like whose content do you see yourself streaming more often than not? HBO, Disney Plus, Hulu.
It depends what I'm watching at the time.
Okay.
Last week I spent a lot of time on Amazon Prime because I was streaming Vikings. Great show, by the way. If you're into like a history action type of thing. And then the following week was Netflix because I got into a show The Last Kingdom, which is a similar type of show.
Okay.
And it really depends on what you want to watch at the moment.
Okay.
Because like Netflix has some of their own like Netflix original shows that are really appealing. That of course is going to gravitate you to Netflix. Sometimes you want to watch a movie that, you know, like say you want to watch Ghostbusters. You put it in Netflix. It comes up. It's not there.
It's not there.
You see a million different things related to ghosts, but not Ghostbusters. Now you go to Amazon Prime. It may not be there on Prime to watch as part of your Prime membership. But if you're really in the mood to watch it, you could rent it for say $3 and watch the movie, and you have it for 24 hours. So if you want to watch it 2 or 3 times within that rental period, you can. You know, so I kind of see that as a plus to have an Amazon Prime Video as opposed to Netflix.
Okay. Do you like the rental aspect of paying a monthly subscription and still paying an additional fee for certain movies? Do you mind that?
Yes and no. Yes, because I'm already paying you a service. You should just provide the movie. And no, because I understand it from a business standpoint. Because in order for Amazon to say have Ghostbusters as part of its Prime membership for viewing any time for X amount of time for like let's say a year, they have to pay let's say Paramount, who's the company in charge of Ghostbusters, or holds the rights to Ghostbusters.
Right.
They now have to pay Paramount let's say $100,000 to hold on to that right to stream that movie for a year. So why should I spend $100,000 of my money when not everybody's going to want to watch it throughout the course of that year? If, like I just said, I'm in the mood to watch it, you know, say July 18th, I'm going to just say, okay, well, you know what, so what? It's an extra $3. Let me just rent it.
Got you.
You know?
So what about the flip side of Disney, for example? Even though they own it, it's new. So, for example, not even hypothetically, but literally Mulan, when they released it, and now Raya is a new movie that they have, an animated movie. You pay their $6.99 subscription fee, and then they're charging $30 for. It's not a rental. Again, it's yours to watch whenever, as often. However, you still have to keep your subscription active. Do you feel that because, like you said, you're in that example, Ghostbusters, Amazon's paying Paramount, but with this case, Mulan is a Disney property. Do you feel?
I would say to
$30.
To me, that's gouging your existing customer.
Okay.
Because you're saying, okay, pay me $6.99 a month, you can watch all this Disney stuff. But now, because Mulan was originally supposed to be a movie-based movie before coming to Disney Plus,
right.
We're going to charge you $30 to watch. Now, this was considered an early release.
Yeah, technically,
because now if you go to Disney Plus, you can watch Mulan.
Right, it was
part
free,
of the $6.99.
Right, it was free until December. After December, yeah.
You had it on there for 2 months at $30. You made whatever money you made off that $30. But people knew it was going to be free.
Right.
Come January 1st. Anybody who's looking to monitor their budget would just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to wait till January 1st.
Did you wait, or did you watch it? Did you even watch it all?
I watched the original cartoon however many years ago that was when it came out.
So you haven't watched the new one yet?
No, because I never once saw a commercial with Mushu, who was voiced by Eddie Murphy.
He's not in it.
So if Mushu's not in it, there's no point in watching it.
Okay.
Because Eddie Murphy was just hilarious as a cartoon dragon.
Yeah, no dragons were in this movie.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet myself. But yes, once I learned that it was more of a... Because I actually liked the Lion King live action remake.
Still haven't seen it.
I liked the Aladdin live action remake.
I finally did see that because I went and watched the cartoon and I wanted to see how much they changed the live action one. And there were a lot of similarities. Yeah. And Will Smith was, I shouldn't say surprisingly well, but he was a very good genius.
It was a different take on it.
It was a different take on...
he can't be Robin Williams, but he wasn't trying to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a different version.
Yes.
First of all, you can't compare Robin Williams
to Will Smith,
who even vocally is very animated.
He is a cartoon. He was a living...
He was a living embodiment of a cartoon.
Yes. Him and Jim Carrey... I would have loved to see a movie with them just.
Going back at it.
Yes, that would have been
back in those days would have been great.
Yes, I wish that could have ever happened.
But Will Smith did a great job, I think, as Genie.
Because Will Smith is charismatic, smooth, and Genie was that. He was a charismatic genie, and he rapped. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it was completely different. I don't think he was trying to be Robin Williams' Genie. He was
Not
Will Smith's Genie.
Right.
You know?
And he might have, don't quote me on this because I didn't see any interviews or read any interviews that he did, but I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line he would have said, I'm not trying to be Robin Williams' Genie.
Correct.
This is me doing it.
Yeah, I believe he definitely said
that. I think the biggest thing when they said that Will Smith was going to be Genie was, why is he blue? Because Genie is blue.
Yeah.
Genie is Genie.
People made a big deal about him being blue, and I think the way they saw it, but as much as they could, he was just regular Will Smith.
But you can't compare Will Smith being the blue Genie compared to the first rendering of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Now that I can understand getting aggravated off.
It looked nothing.
Nothing like Sonic.
It looked bad. It looked very bad, and I'm glad they did it over. And I actually enjoyed that Sonic movie. Did you see the movie?
Still haven't seen that.
I watched it. I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. I can't lie. I'm not gonna say it was great piece of cinema or anything like that, but
I do think that Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik as Eggman was a good choice.
He killed it. And again, playing the game, you don't get a character, you don't get dialogue from Robotnik, but it's like, you know what, seeing him do it, you're like, yep.
But if you were a fan of the cartoons, you got a sense of who Robotnik
and seeing Jim Carrey, it was like, yeah. He did it, and I enjoyed it. And the part 2 is coming soon.
Okay. I heard Knuckles is supposed to be in it.
Yes, they show it in like the little art. They had the little Tails. Tails is in. I'm not sure if Knuckles. Tails.
Okay, Tails. Right, because Tails was in the second game. Knuckles wasn't until the third game.
So in like the little art they released, you see like the little 2 tails on the number 2. So yeah, I believe Tails is gonna be in it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But you said you don't have a preference or
I go back and forth.
Okay. Me myself, I would say right now HBO Max, and it's primarily because every month they're releasing something new. Mm-hmm. So even though they haven't been great.